Here's your wrestling news for December 30th, 2022, and we're starting off with AJ Styles, as he and the OC have been feuding with the Judgment Day and has been facing the group on TV and at live events. This week, the two sides once again locked horns at a live event in Hershey, Pennsylvania, but this match unfortunately featured an apparent injury. The injury took place during an over-the-top rope spot, and fan footage shows that AJ Styles landed awkwardly after the spot, causing the referee to throw up the X sign. The clip also shows that Styles was unable to walk to the back with his own power and had to be assisted by Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson after the match ended without a definitive conclusion. Details are still scarce as to Styles' condition or whether he'll need any time off, but we'll make sure to keep following this story for further updates. Sami Zayn is having a career renaissance as part of the Bloodline, a story which has put him at odds with his best friend Kevin Owens. The honorary Uce has had to keep his head on a swivel to avoid Owens' stunner, but this week, Zayn took the move from an unlikely source. Appearing at a WWE live event, Zayn got into a verbal altercation with referee Jessika Carr, and Sami's provocation led to Carr hitting him with a stunner of her own. From there, Owens would hit the same move and pick up the win in a spot that got a great reaction from the crowd. Ironically, Zayn would recently use someone else's finisher, as during one spot, the honorary Uce channeled his inner Roman Reigns to hit the Superman punch on Owens. Zayn would follow this up with an unsuccessful spear attempt and get a stunner for his troubles. Zayn proved his loyalty to the Bloodline at Survivor Series War Games and will face Owens tonight as part of a star-studded tag team match, and he'll probably think twice the next time he wants to antagonize an official. As we all know, injuries in wrestling can happen at any time, and one person who is dealing with a serious injury right now is Jonathan Carrion. The former Ring of Honor star has also worked as Deranged of Special K, but is now in need of major surgery. On Twitter, Carrion announced his GoFundMe campaign to cover medical and living expenses, saying he has suffered a severe knee injury that has required major surgery. In the videos, Carrion provided photos of the injury in question, which shows him coming down from the top rope at an October 6th event. 3 X-rays and an MRI later, it was determined that Carrion had suffered a displaced tibial plateau fracture and has a puncture in his meniscus, which will need to be dealt with as well. Carrion said that the surgery took place in November and included plates and 11 screws being inserted, and it'll be 9 months before he can walk again, and another 18 months before he can engage in physical exercise. With Carrion saying he expects to be on crutches until February 2023, there's no chance he'll be able to make a living from wrestling, and we hope that the GoFundMe page proves to be a success for the former ROH talent. This week, FTR lost the AAA World Tag Team titles to Jalistico and Dragon Lee, but in the latter's case, he didn't plan on staying a champion for long. After the match, Dragon Lee grabbed the microphone and announced that he has signed a contract with WWE, a deal that was later confirmed by the company themselves. ESPN later reported that Lee will start WWE in January, and on social media, Triple H responded to the news, calling him an unbelievable athlete who is just getting started. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer addressed Lee joining WWE and said that the company's interest was piqued after seeing him in AEW. WWE's attitude is that they could swoop in and sign him after seeing him on AEW TV without a deal and strike a blow to Tony Khan in the process. It's certainly interesting that a contracted WWE signee defeated an AEW tag team to win AAA's World Tag Team titles, and Meltzer said that there's no way WWE will allow one of their stars to be pinned by someone from the competition. Lee's in-ring style has amassed a huge fan base who watched him show off his skills in AEW for August's House of the Dragon event, but they'll soon be tuning into WWE TV to see him in action. Lee is the first major wrestler to sign with WWE who wasn't a former superstar under the Triple H era, but from the sounds of it, he won't be the last. That's according to WrestleVotes, who reports that WWE is hopeful that Dragon Lee won't be a one-off, but the start of a chain of signing standout talent. WrestleVotes added that Triple H and his team are already working on their next big signing and expect to land another high-profile name in early 2023. It wasn't too long ago that reports came out claiming WWE weren't interested in indie talent anymore, instead focusing on training rookies, a claim that NXT head Shawn Michaels later refuted. While WWE is interested in signing young college athletes that they can train in their own style, that doesn't mean they've shut the door on signing established wrestlers, as the deal with Dragon Lee shows. Triple H's regime as head of talent relations has been focused on the rehiring of former superstars who were cut by his father-in-law, but it remains to be seen which standout stars are next on his list. Over to AEW now, as it was at Full Gear that Samoa Joe captured the TNT Championship, another title to go with his Ring of Honor World Television title. This week's Dynamite saw Joe defend against former champion Wardlow, but the show did not go well for Mr. Mayhem. After a lengthy match, Joe took Wardlow out by making him pass out with the Coquina Clutch, and the Samoan submission machine wasn't finished just yet. After the match, Joe found a pair of scissors under the ring and cut off Wardlow's man bun, and his assault on Wardlow was cut short after Darby Allin made a surprise return to make the save. AEW's resident double champion, Samoa Joe, has been on a roll since arriving in the promotion earlier this year, and we expect that Wardlow will have a response next week to losing his man bun. Now, Matt Riddle is one of WWE's most popular superstars, but his real-life issues have often gotten in the way of his pushes. Riddle is currently out of action due to another wellness policy violation and has been seen with multiple adult film stars, some of which have accused the original Bro of cheating on them. After Riddle was seen with Misha Montana, Jordan Max revealed just how shattered she was, and another woman also accused the Raw superstar of infidelity. Seemingly reacting to the reports, Montana took to social media to say that cheating is not a crime, and falling in love with someone is also not a crime. Montana asked how it became acceptable to ruin everyone's lives because hearts were broken, and encouraged those who have been cheated on to grow up. Cheating may be A-okay, according to the adult film actress, but if someone has fallen in love with someone else, as she says, then said partner should be honest with their current partner and not be seeing someone behind their back. We can't help but wonder if Montana would have such a pro-infidelity stance if she were the one being cheated on, but as far as she's concerned, Matt Riddle has done nothing wrong. And we're ending today with the Royal Rumble, which is traditionally one of the most exciting nights on the WWE calendar. Sure, this year's event may not have been the best, but WWE has high hopes for next month, which could include the return of a WWE Hall of Famer. Recently, WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke expressed his interest in getting back in the ring, and a Change.org petition is calling on him to be an entrant in the Royal Rumble. That petition has already received over 200 signatures, and even the Iron Sheik has called on fans to respect the New Zealand legend. Luke's most iconic moment in the WWF was arguably as part of a Royal Rumble, when he was eliminated within 4 seconds in the 1991 Royal Rumble, which would go on to be won by Hulk Hogan. At 75 years old, Luke would be the oldest wrestler to ever compete in a Royal Rumble if he were to be included, and booking 2 exciting 30-person matches will possibly be the biggest challenge yet for Triple H as head of creative.